Hi, coaches. My name's Ben Carnes. I'm the owner of Mental Training Plan, and so glad that you guys are going to be partnering us with the MTP Academy. I wanted to just quickly kind of share our story so you know a little bit where this came from. In 2013, we went down and played in a state championship, and as soon as we walked into Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts play, we just froze. We had some kids trying to catch punts with shaky hands. We had senior defensive linemen crying. We had quarterback who was the best player in school history making silly decisions. And it was just like, guys, what's going on? Like, just play the game. But when we went back and evaluated, like, what are we really doing to help them perform at their best in these high pressure situations? The answer was not much. That following off season, I was doing some work with the quarterbacks and what we called QB club in the morning before school. And our head coach came in and was like, "We got to do this confidence stuff with like everybody." And I said, "Well, coach, like this is what my guys need, but I don't know what all 130 players on the team need." And so that season, or that off season, I should say, I kind of dove in head first to the world of self-assessment, just trying to help players even figure out like what's going on. And we figured out basically if we could take care of five main areas, what we call the prime five, then we were going to knock out about 90 to 95% of the issues that our players were having on game day. So then it was a matter of, well, what tools do we use? And we started, implementing some things. And over the next few years, we came up with a systematic program and ended up winning a state championship with a pretty under-talented team, but one that just performed at a high level. And before you know it, we're one of the winningest 6A programs over the last decade. And all of a sudden, that's turning some heads. It's like, why is Westfield winning football games? Like they used to have no win, one win, two win seasons. Like what's going on? To make a long story short, I got hired by some other teams and schools and other sports, ended up writing a book, starting a podcast, opened up my own company, and after teaching and coaching for 15 years, stepped away to do this full time. And so, the one-on-one stuff that we were doing was great. We tried to implement an online learning academy where the kids could just go watch videos. And I'll be honest, it was just okay. And so what we did after that was basically blow up that model and kind of start from scratch. And we went back to, how do we get the information to the players, but then also kind of hold them accountable and help them implement it along the way. And that's where the MTP Academy came from. So what we've got is basically kind of like a curriculum for you, a guided program that you can take your athletes through. All you have to do is print a worksheet, play a video. We're going to deliver the content for you. And then you come alongside your players and help them with implementation. So your next question is probably, well, that's neat, but like, what does this actually look like for me? So the step one is we're going to run a mental skills assessment for your team. This is just a sample football team from here in Indiana, and we're going to collect a bunch of raw data, and we'll put it in, nice, neat chart for you so you can see this first column. How do your players perform under pressure? Are they confident that they have what it takes? Can they control their body in these high pressure situations? What's their mindset like? Are they motivated? What's their ability to focus on the task at hand and deal with distractions? And then what about optimistic perfection? Striving for excellence or striving for perfection, but knowing that we're going to come up short. So how do we deal with failure? And what you're going to tell me is basically, how else do you want it broken down? Aside from maybe just gathering data for your team, would it be helpful for you to see where different classes are at? This is one that was run in the winter time, so there's no freshmen on here, but obviously, we can break it up by all four classes. We can look at what was your role last year? Were you a starter? Were you a JV starter? Were you a freshman sub? We can even break it up by position. I've had cross-country coaches that gather like, how many years have you been running competitively? You tell us how you want us to break down the data, and we'll provide that for you. And this just kind of gives us a starting point so we know where your team is at. The next step will be going through the foundation program. So after you sign up for the academy, this is kind of what the home screen will look like. The foundation program is where I encourage everyone to start. It's kind of, here's all the tools that everyone needs. And so each of these they're short and sweet. This video, for example, is 2 minutes and 26 seconds. We tell everybody shoot for about 15 minutes. So you're going to print off this worksheet right here. And the worksheets are designed to stand alone. So if you have an athlete who's not able to be at one of your sessions, you can hand them this worksheet. They'll still be able to fill it out. Like I said, we have gotten far, far away from just send an athlete to go do this on their own, because to be honest, it just sort of becomes another thing that they have to do, rather than, hey, our team is going to commit to this. We're going to set time aside for this because training the mind is a priority. This is what the back of the worksheet looks like. So each one of your athletes in this session is going to be filling out their worksheet as they watch this video. You'll notice there's also a coach's video here. This is optional. If you would like to watch this beforehand, it basically just lets your coaches know, here's what you're doing, here's why, here's what you can expect, the purpose, things like that. It's broken up into 4 sections. So the roadmap is all about, hopes, dreams, ambitions, goal setting, full potential. Basically, where are you at now? Where are you trying to get to? And what's the plan to get there? Then the next section is preparation. This is all about, how do we practice at a higher level than our competition? How do we improve faster than our competition? Performance is all about getting in the zone, playing at your best. How do you perform at a high level when the game starts, or when your match starts? How do you outperform your opponent? And then last is evaluation. So we've said we're going to commit to this program. Is it working? How do we know it's working? What do we need to do next? Do we need to make adjustments? After the foundation program, you'll do another mental skills assessment to sort of see, where's your team at? Maybe you're still struggling with optimistic perfection, or maybe you've got a certain group that's struggling with confidence, or maybe a certain position group is still not handling pressure situations well. That's where the skills and tools by category comes in. So if you've got some athletes that are still kind of lagging in a specific area, let's say confidence, for example, well, now you can come over. Here's all kinds of activities that are just designed for helping athletes improve confidence. So I know that's kind of a quick run through. Just wanted to give you a taste of this, so that once you set up your account, if you wanted to start kind of poking around, looking at some of the different resources, you're more than welcome to do that. You'll notice that we have our elite golf mindset module up here. We've got other sports that are still being converted digitally. We've got Foundation 2.0 that you can be using in year 2. We've got all kinds of other stuff. There's plenty of schools that we've been working with just on a continual basis. And your freshman year, you do something, and then your sophomore year, it's a little different, and then junior year, and then senior year. So, as we go, we're going to continue to add on resources, but this is where we're at right now, and this is where you're going to be starting. If you've got questions, I look forward to answering all of those in our one-on-one. Be sure to schedule that using the link that was provided in the email. And in the meantime, my contact info was at the bottom of that email. Feel free to shoot me an email, a text. Otherwise, I look forward to talking to you in that one-on-one.